less a bad chick, the flow sick like oh shit.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Hello and welcome to pregame. Today we are here talking about some fun topics and just getting ready for our up and coming game. We have a special guest coming on, and then we have two signed people. One coming on, one is not. That's going to be at the end. This first section is going to be talking about our upcoming game tonight, 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST will be live game day. First game of preseason week 1. We should have more like tomorrow and that stuff. Now in section 2, we're going to talk about all the other games that we think will be fun. Recently a team got disbanded, the Falcons. So the Eagles picked up the win, so they're our first team to win. Congrats on them. So first team to win in the whole of GFFL by a disqualification. Then we're gonna have our physical actual game. But yeah, let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks versus the Vikings. So stat-wise, during the off season, we had some scrimmage happening and all that. Vikings took the win on those scrimmages that I was told. They just were constantly like this. Trainings constantly happening. Vikings versus Seahawks game is going to be a really tough game. I think the Vikings will lose by 5. Seahawks will win by 5. Next thing we're going to be talking, and that's like, they were both skilled in many ways. Like, both teams are skilled in many ways. It's going to be a really tough game. We're going to see back and forth with the ball, and it's going to be fun. I personally think it's going to be fun, and I think it's just going to be a constant back and forth. So, like, it's like, for a demonstration, say this is the ball. I think it's just going to keep going like this until someone physically goes, hey, let's throw a deep pass or whatever. Boom. Breaks the defense. Touchdown. Seahawks or Vikings. And generally speaking, I think the Seahawks will take lead on this due to the fact they're constantly signing and practicing, while the Vikings are practicing every other, like twice every other week, and then signing every other week, every other day, and they just don't get that time to pull in just normal players to practice while they're just trying out most of the time. Although the Vikings have like a larger span of players they can just throw in and say, hey, let's run this guy a slant route. Let's run this guy a deep route. Let's run this guy a slant route and then go deep and then run another slant. And it's weird. Like, it's either you're running a complementary route or a non-complementary route. So, like, that's going to be the big talk here. Are they going to run complementary routes by passing or running, or are they not going to do that and just go straight? Because technically, you could do like, hey, let's run a slant and then change it. You go back down to O-line, cross, up, boom, throw. Just to make it difficult. That's a thing I have seen before. And I think just them running those routes could be really big. And generally, for the Seahawks, for them to confuse the Vikings is running complementary routes that are really hard to do. And I think with their wide receivers, they can accomplish that, plus their quarterback. And we're going to get more into their wide receivers, their starting lineup here in a bit. But the only way the Vikings can win, if the Seahawks get a bunch of penalties and just constantly gets thrown back, and if their defense is good. Vikings offense, going to be difficult. If their defense can intercept the ball and catch a ball, the offense can. We're going to see what both defense on each team can do to support their offense of team. It's going to be a heavy hitting game. Vikings have the number advantage. The Seahawks have the experience advantage. We're going to see how that competes here live at Gffl. We're going to hear live on this channel at 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. We're going to see how that collides. We're going to see how does that do. But moving on to section 2, after talking long about it, we're moving on to other games, which is the Bengals versus Chiefs. Haven't seen much of them. All I know is they've probably been practicing really hard for their games. I'm saying Chiefs will take a win by 7. Easy. Have their first win at the season. They're going to just wipe out the competition here in I'm pretty sure. The Chiefs, though, they're going to be on Bengals' tails. I think the only way the Bengals can do is what the Seattle Seahawks are going to do. Hopefully, run complementary routes. Basically, do some geometry type shit here. Just constant be on their feet. That's what they need to do. It'll be constantly on their feet. Constantly be on their feet as of now. But I even the weather. If the weather could always change and affect the players in any game. And this first week of preseason is heavy hitting, I can tell you that. Next week of preseason, we're going to see a change. Could the Seahawks go against the Eagles? Vikings go against the Bengals, and then Chiefs get a bye week in preseason. That could happen. That could happen. And honestly, this week 1 is going to be heavy hitting. We have a lot of heavy hitting teams going at it tonight. Mods, make sure you be moderating the chat. But we're going to have a heavy hitting games. We're going to move on to section 3 where we're going to be where this pregame is going to take most of the time, and then we're going to take a break and figure out what else we want to talk about. If we want to talk more about our up and coming game. But moving on to our next section of pregame is what the Seahawks just did in the matter of minutes, an hour before their game, is recruiting a new wide receiver who I got to see in action live. Blew my what I heard from the coaching staff blew my mind. It was probably one of their best wide receivers that I heard. One of the best wide receivers. I didn't get to see the quarterback, but I heard the quarterback's from LFG. He's a QB. But the thing is, like I heard they also got an LFG QB like the Vikings, and they're currently doing practice, and they're gonna be on their toes. We're actually gonna interview one of the players they sign, which is the wide receiver, here in probably a couple of minutes. I know they're in the middle of practice right now, but that's honestly believable. And I'm just gonna ask them questions like, what team did you originally wanted coming into the league, and all that beautiful jazz. And then we're just gonna have a fun time and all that. So, like I said, this is pregame. Our real game doesn't start till later tonight, so can't wait for that. And it's gonna be pretty good games. We're gonna get in contact with Harvest here. We're getting in contact as we speak. But honestly, if Harvest is as good as I have been told, he can run those routes perfectly. Hello, Harvest. Welcome to the pregame show. We have a couple questions. I have a couple questions for you, and then we could just enjoy. So, when you first joined the league, what team were you actually originally hoping for to join?
Probably the Chiefs.
Chiefs?
I've seen, it's my first day on the team. I've seen at tryouts, passing ability. It's not the best, but it can do a lot of work.
Yeah. All right. Here's your second question. When you got signed to the Seahawks, did you know the reputation of the Seahawks were not that good due to history?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. The Seahawks do not have a good reputation, and they've been planning to change this reputation by playing these games and winning it for their home city. So, what routes you might run today in your head?
I think a mixture of everything: bubble, screen, slants, crossbox, a little bit of everything. I need to teach these guys a little bit of my methods.
All right. Putting some some geometry in that could confuse the Vikings. And the whole point of running routes is doing crossbox and bubbles. Screens are always good. I love seeing teams do screens.
Yeah, it's all about spreading out the team and creating that one open window. As soon as you find that one open window, hopefully the quarterback sees it and throws it that way.
Yeah. So I personally don't have any information on the quarterback. Do you have any information on the quarterback?
We don't have a full confirmed quarterback yet,
All right.
to my knowledge.
To your knowledge. So the coaching staff is keeping it secret. That's what we like.
Pretty
That's
much.
what we see here mostly in GFFL. Honestly, have fun on your game tonight. It's preseason. This preseason is mainly for fun. It's mainly to get used to your team. And we're going to reveal if you want to stay in the call and just hang out with the reveal of the number 1 team in the league. After our little ad break, we're going to reveal the number 1 team.
Sounds good, man.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fuel like I'm floating through.
So we got our emergency update. So this same stream is going to be game day. So we have the number 1 team is the Vikings. Game day is here in a minute. So we're going to end this stream and set up our game day stream. Thank you for showing up.